it's hard at this moment in time to just come straight out of the change room to get an absolute grasp on it, but fundamentally my initial reaction is it's just the familiar tale of how away performances have gone, and I keep banging drum about we're going to change something, and we're desperately trying to change something, and I think there's a lot of positives, so I don't want that to overshadow it, but at the same time, like, look, I don't come out here and say, look, it's on me, and I'll not go into too much, but like, I'll take that one on you.
Yeah, you mentioned changing a lot of things since you've come in, but how do you go about changing players' mentalities? Because clearly that was an issue in the first 15 minutes of the second half. Yeah,
well, I think that you saw how good mentality can be. So we spoke this week about how mentality is going to win the game, and we talk about having leaders out there and people who stand up when it does get loud, and because look, we're going to go to away teams this season, and that happen again. But I've just sort of said to players in there, it were a bit like it happened at Barnsley, it's happened again today here. And look, you could say X, Y and Z about this, that and other, and we're missing players, but if players feel like we're missing players, then that means that they're not going to play when the players that were fit come back. So I don't buy that. I just think that we have to be stronger in tough moments. Look, whether it were a penalty or not is kind of up for debate. But at the same point, there's no way that we shouldn't have walked out of this stadium with at least a point today, let alone 3. And the 20-25 minutes of madness where we need to be calmer has cost us again.
Yeah, I was going to ask for your sort of views on the penalties. Is it one of those where you've seen them given but could have quite easily waved play on?
I just think that when I mean, I can watch our corners back front first half, that happens on every corner. So if he's going to give that one, he has to give every other. But look, that the referee's decision, you can say it kind of cost us the game, but we cost ourselves that game today.
In terms of the first half performance, it was quite nip and tuck, wasn't it? First half an hour or so, you got yourselves in front and probably could and should have been 2-0 up going into the break.
I think you saw a bit of a lack of confidence first 20 minutes again, which drives me crackers. And then all of a sudden game plan players buy into, and then all of a sudden we see how easy it is, and it was easy. And Shawnee McWilliams has his header front corner, Jordan obviously gets his goal, Kane Spence breaks and could arguably score there, and like, they didn't have a shot on our goal, and it's away from home, and we should be winning games, and like, it just, well, like I say, it's really hard to do this interview at the minute because I'm still boiling underneath, but I'm trying to be honest and upfront as I can be. But like, just these periods, we just need to eliminate them, and how we do that, I'll be turning every stone to find a way to do that.
When you look back on that moment just after you'd scored, and you know the Spence chance, if that goes in and it's 2-0, you're giving yourself that bit of breathing space, and almost that pressure doesn't have to then come, does it, at 1-0?
I agree, but again, like I know I'm repeating myself, but it happened at Barnsley. We had 2 or 3 good opportunities, we don't take them. They obviously go in at half time, and I said to players at half time, I don't want to give you too much praise because they're not going to be as bad as they were first half, but I thought they were as bad as they were because of us. And then second half would come out, and I'll be brutally honest, I didn't think they were much better, but we just made them better. We did no aggression, we didn't win the 50-50 battles, and they're fundamental parts of football games. And again, that falls on me. So look, I'll look at it back and see where we can improve and go from there. But we can't just keep doing all right and having a good resilience at home and then coming away and throwing games away in 20-25 minute periods.
In terms of moments for individuals, how much did Jordan Hugill need that goal, his first in 11 months? Yeah,
he obviously needed it, and I thought he worked tirelessly, and I would have liked to have got him off probably a little bit earlier, but JJ's just coming back. I'm obviously having to manage Kane Spence and Sean McWilliams' workload, and Shawnee then obviously goes down at end. I'm hoping that's just precautionary, but yeah, it just feels at minute like when we do go away, there's things that are going against us, but at the same time, that's down to us to put it right and have that confidence to keep performing. And I'm sure you'll agree, first half, we looked a very, very good football team, like we have done at home. And yeah, it's just frustrating because I know how much it means to them fans as supporters, and I know how much it they've cost to get down here, and I know what an away win had mean to them. We got 2 when I first come in, and we hadn't had 1 for a while, and yeah, it hurts, but then it's all right hurting. We've got to do something about that.
You're hoping for a bit of luck on the McWilliams injury. You're due a bit, aren't you?
Yeah, again, we're due a little bit. Obviously, we have players coming back, but I think if I'm going to be brutally honest, this game was probably a bit too soon for some of them coming off bench, if I'm going to be honest. But we've been that low on numbers that we tried to manage the minutes as well as we could do. I'd have obviously loved Kieran Spence. I thought he had a real good debut with a lot of energy, broke lines, got forward. I thought Shawnee were a threat again and linked up really well with Jordan, and there was space in behind, and Jordan's, bless him, he's not a pace striker. And I think he would have had a bit more pace probably in that period after they scored their goal. But again, look, like the goal just comes from the first goal, gives them a leg up, and like people want to get on the ball, and I just want to give them the confidence that I have in them, because when they do it, it looks exceptional. But if they don't do it, then it goes to crumbles a little bit, and like I said, that's my job to put that